Okay, good morning to you all. What a pleasure it is to be with you today, even though we cannot do this face to face. So, my name is Nicodemus Nabakwe, and I'm so excited to share my greatest passion with you, coffee. Before we get started, I'd like to give you a brief overview of my journey and how I got involved in coffee. So I grew up in Western Province in Kenya. Western Province is known for its rich African cultural heritage, and Kenya as a whole is known for its national parks, incredible wildlife, and magnificent coastline. Not forgetting delicious tea and coffee. So because tourism was always very prominent when I was growing up, and I was actually intrigued by this ever-growing industry. So when I had to decide what I wanted to study after leaving school, it was not an easy and natural decision. It was an easy and natural decision for me to choose tourism. So after completing my studies, I was faced with the difficult task of finding employment. So my eldest sister, who used to work for Doman's coffee shops, around that time had an opening for a barista trainer and sales consultant position. So I applied for the position, and I was accepted, and it's where that love for coffee began. So my job was fulfilling, and it opened up opportunities for me to compete in barista competitions, which were arranged by AFCA. AFCA is a regional member-driven association for specialty coffee professionals. So these competitions really helped me to create a name for myself in Kenya. But through this, I was also growing so much, and I was fortunate to earn a trip to South Africa, where I came to train some of the best coffee professionals on how to compete in barista-related events. The training formed part of the hostess, and Avanti Coffee was one of the exhibitors. It was here that I met Avanti founder, John Frater. So we shared the same love for coffee, and John asked me to come and work for him as a training manager. So I went back home, resigned, packed one suitcase, and returned to take up this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. So in an effort to continue learning while I worked, I joined SCASA. SCASA is the Specialty Coffee Association of Southern Africa, and I helped them during my spare time. So my love for coffee was obvious, and they invited me to be a judge in some of their coffee competitions. So as my skills grew, key players within the industry started to take notice of me, and I was approached by 7 Oaks Trading, Carol in particular, to help them sell green coffee. I was so committed to coffee, and I wanted to be the best in the business. And so in 2007, I enrolled for a Q grader course, which would earn me the reputation as one of the 8 elite coffee professionals in South Africa. It also made me the first Black male Q grader in the country. So starting from a very humble background, I am proud of what I've achieved. My highlight is actually when I first competed in a barista competition here in South Africa in 2013. This was in KZN. That time I had trainees in the same competition, but the most amazing thing was that I was only attempting this for the first time using a South African coffee, something that had never been tried before, and of course not repeated. So in the preliminaries, I was the last stage, and no one knew me except a handful of other competitors entering. So with the surprise of many, I was placed 2nd overall in KZN and went to the nationals where I emerged 5th. This year, I was honored to be a judge for the Shot in the Dark competition, which is a national roasting competition. What I really want to highlight, though, is that I started out just like each and every one of you. There was time in my life when I couldn't make a cup of coffee, but it was my passion, my dedication, my attention to detail, and love for coffee that got me where I am. I knew I wanted to stand out, and so I put in the time and made sure that I mastered everything I needed to know. So as a Q grader, I'm now able to offer a 2-day course on green coffee knowledge, roasting, and cupping, which is hosted at 7 Australia. So let's talk about coffee. So I know, it's a shared passion with you, but coffee is one of the highest traded agricultural commodity in the world. Research in 2017 tells us that the coffee industry has provided over 125 million jobs worldwide. And in the same year, the retail value of about 83 billion US dollars. In South Africa, coffee is growing exponentially with an average consumption of just under 700,000 bags annually in comparison to the world's total consumption of about 160 million bags. In the past, South Africans traditionally enjoyed instant coffee, but with education, consumers are becoming more knowledgeable than ever before. And so we've seen an uptake in specialty coffee and in home brewing methods. So because coffee is so complex, it's difficult to narrow down what makes the perfect cup. But essentially, it's about the origin of the beans and the flavor. We also need to consider the effort behind every single cup, right from the picking of the bean through to the processing, the roasting, and then finally the brewing. So there are a number of coffee regions in the world, and each of them provides unique characteristics. But some of the more popular growing regions are Brazil, Colombia, Ethiopia, and Kenya. Brazil is known for being the world's largest producer of coffee, while Colombia is known for its finest washed Arabica, and also the third largest producer. So Kenyan and Ethiopian coffee are almost my favorite, not only because Kenya is my home, but because the coffee in both countries grow at a higher altitude, which actually means that the cherries get to experiment a slower growth and ripen slowly. This brings out a coffee with more complex flavors and refined acidities. Everyone has a personal preference, but when I'm tasting coffee, I prefer coffees with sweet yet clean, vibrant acidity, fruitier as in berries, and blackcurrant notes like you find in Kenyan coffees and Rwandan coffee as well. But also some beautiful floral notes, with exquisite strong fruited notes like you find in Ethiopian coffee. That to me just highlights my day. So as a barista, let's talk about a little bit more about your role. This underrated profession has evolved so much over the years. In the past, there was never really a focus on barista skills. In fact, many restaurants and hotels, it was up to the waiters, to make coffee beverages for the customers. Fast forward to today, the barista is one of the most highly skilled professionals within the coffee industry. Thanks to the ongoing training and emphasis on high quality coffee, we're seeing baristas profiled alongside famous chefs, in magazines, underlining an impressive use of the career. There is so much growth in this business, and you may be starting out as a barista, but there's so much opportunity, and it's often just the first step in the journey, to a much higher position. So the art of making a good coffee beverage is key to your role, and if you master this, it's the foundation for you to achieve so much more. As a barista as well, it's important that you not only focus on your technical skills, but also on your knowledge around the coffee you're serving. So take time to really get to know the blends. You need to be comfortable enough to talk to the customers, through the journey of the coffee. What many baristas don't realize is that customers, come to you for the full experience. They can easily have a decent cup of coffee from a machine at home, but when they are standing in front of you, they're there to engage all of their senses: the sight, the touch, the taste, the sound, and the feel. So this makes your role in the profession so important. Coffee companies like Avanti can create beautiful coffee, but it's really up to you to make sure that you give a happy ending to the customer. The more you educate yourself on coffee, the more confident you will become. And this will shine through and make you stand apart from other baristas. Not only do you need to know your coffee, but you need to get to know your customers. Ask them questions about what they like, and then do some research. Next time they visit, tell them what you learned. This makes them feel like you are interested, and they will gain respect for you, as an industry leader. So the coffee you produce is a reflection of you. So make sure that you're serving the coffee that you are proud of. Your workstation is also a reflection of you, and so keep it clean and tidy at all times. Be at synergy with your machine so you know when something is going wrong. So take control of everything from start to finish, and I promise you will shine. So there is a wealth of knowledge, on the internet, and I truly encourage you to just read, and read. Networking is also very important. I am where I am today because of the relationship that I've created or built along the way. The industry is very small, but it's also a tight-knit community of people that want the betterment of the industry as a whole and share the same love for coffee. I am of the opinion that you can do anything that you put your mind to, and I hope that my story inspires you to reach your full potential. I was never just satisfied with making and serving coffee. I wanted more, and so I went after it. And you can too. We are all here for the same journey, and make sure that you reach your final destination. So thank you so much. And once things have normalized, I do hope that you can all meet up, over a cup of coffee. Although I now work at 7 Oaks trading, I'm still much involved at Avanti. And if you ever enjoy it, I urge you to come and meet, the team. Come prepared with questions, and they will take you on a tour of the factory as well, where you can see how it all comes together. Until then, take care and keep safe.
Cool. Right. Brilliant. Thank you, Nicodemus. That's absolutely fantastic. I think the baristas out there are going to take a lot of what you've said to heart. And I do believe at the end of the day, hard work will see you through. And I love the fact that you want to be interested in all your customers and see what they prefer or what trends they're going for. So tell me, what are your favorite beans? Where are they from? Your green beans?
So, we've got coffee from...
Wait. Hang on. Charmaine. Hang on. Charmaine is... Wait. Charmaine. Hang on a moment. Charmaine, need to unmute you, but I don't know how this is now happening. There.
Can you hear us?
Yes, now we
Sorry, someone called.
Okay.
Yes, just refresh your question again.
So where do you get your, what are your favorite green beans? Where are they from?
I'll be a bit biased. Kenya and Ethiopia. I think those two are my favorite. But we get coffee from all over the world. Any coffee growing region, we try and source coffee from.
And in your opinion, what makes a good cup of coffee at the end of the day? When you're actually finished roasting it, what are the flavor profiles that you really want to have in your mouth that you think is a brilliant cup?
I think it's actually a preference, but I prefer, better roasted coffee, high grade specialty. We're trying to promote the specialty industry because there's a lot that the farmer puts in place, and we need to appreciate that. The fact that they work so hard on their coffee, and they bring it to us, do justice to the coffee. So, we try and make sure that you roast it diligently, perfectly. And of course, as a barista, you need to narrow it down now to getting the best flavor out of it. So, you're looking for nice, brighter coffee, cleaner coffees, fuller, a coffee that is, let's say, has some harmony in it that balances out nicely. So that's why, I get accustomed to African coffees also because of my upbringing as well.
Fantastic, excellent. Okay, well, listen, I think if there's any more questions from our side, we will put them on an email through to you, Nicodemus. I know that the candidates are very excited to participate in the barista competition, and that's certainly going to raise awareness on how exactly to make cortado and flat white and all of those. So yeah, it's very exciting days ahead for them. And if there are any questions, I'll definitely email you. So thank you for your time. Really appreciate it. Cool.
You're welcome.
Okay then.
Okay, cheers.
Ciao, ciao.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.